Submission to Allah or Islam is a cornerstone of the Muslim faith. It entails complete surrender and obedience to the will of Allah, guiding adherence in every aspect of life. The principle of submission stems from Prophet Muhammad's actions and is embedded in the core practices known as the five pillars of faith. We will explore how these elements lay a guiding foundation for Muslims, inspiring values of charity, forgiveness, and honesty, ultimately leading them to a life of submission. Prophet Muhammad stands as a quintessential example of showing complete submission to Allah. Being the final prophet sent by Allah, Muhammad is seen as a central figure in the Islamic religion and is revered for his devotion, humility, and obedience to the will of Allah. The submission was elucidated in every aspect of Muhammad's life, from his personal worships and interactions with others, and leadership in the Muslim community. The hadith denotes that Muhammad would spend many hours in prayer as he sought guidance and strength from Allah, illustrating his deep connection to the divine. Furthermore, the Quran highlights the importance of following Muhammad's principles to attain righteousness and spiritual guidance. In the Quran, Allah declares, "Indeed, in the Messenger of Allah, you have an excellent example for whoever has hope in Allah and the last day and remembers Allah often." This verse highlights the significance of Muhammad's life as a role model for believers, inspiring them to emulate his obedience. In addition, the Quran commands Muhammad's character morally, stating, "And indeed, you are of great moral character." This verse underscores Muhammad's integrity and compassion, which serve as guiding principles for Muslims today. Prophet Muhammad's actions are modeled to guide Muslims to seek to navigate the complexity of life while still demonstrating full submission to Allah. The five pillars of faith exemplify the commitment of complete submission to Allah in various aspects of life. The five pillars include the declaration of faith, shahada, ritual prayers, salat, charity, zakat, fasting, saum, and pilgrimage, hajj. The profession of faith is the belief that there is no God but God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. The shahada is recited by Muslims in various contexts, including throughout the day, conversation to Islam, and other significant moments in a Muslim's life. This allows Muslims to declare allegiance to Allah publicly. Zakat is the obligation to donate a fixed amount of their salary to those in need. This is stated in the Quran. And establish prayer and give zakat, and whatever good you put forward for yourselves, you will find it with Allah. Giving 2.5% of one's wealth is a specific instruction from Islam, reflecting fairness and equality in their submission to Allah. Prayer or salat is when Muslims recite the opening chapter of the Quran facing Mecca 5 times a day, at dawn, noon, mid-afternoon, sunset, and after dark. By completing this ritual, Muslims are required to perform a ritual purification known as wudu. This principle demonstrates how Muslims are meant to interrupt their day to submit for Allah, exhibiting their complete obedience and submission. Fasting, also known as Sawm, happens during Ramadan in the daylight hours and is a time of spiritual reflection and self-discipline. The Quran reaffirms this pillar's principle. "O you have believed, decreed upon you is fasting, and it will decree upon those before you that may become righteous." This highlights the universal nature of fasting and emphasizes the significance for the followers of Allah throughout history. A fast during Ramadan presents an opportunity for Muslims to show obedience to Allah by acts of gratitude and self-restraint. Hajj is the last pillar and expresses a pilgrimage to Mecca, which all Muslims must commute at least once a lifetime. This pilgrimage takes place annually during the Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah, and consists of a series of rituals and acts of worship performed over several days. The Quran affirms the significance of Hajj, stating, "And complete the Hajj and Umrah for Allah." This verse elucidates the commandment to fulfill the rites of the Hajj, emphasizing the inevitability of submission. Together, these five pillars of faith form a foundation of Muslim faith, guiding their lives towards devotion and total submission of Allah. Overall, submission to Allah is the foundation of Islamic beliefs. Islam guides its adherents to pursue these principles to a complete extent through the exemplary life of Prophet Muhammad and the core practices of the five pillars of faith. By embodying these principles, Muslims can live a life of devotion, charity, and honesty, ultimately submitting to the will of Allah.